Thousands of tourists in Italy get scammed, ripped off, or worse every single day. But that stops now. I have spent a ton of time in Italy and witnessed many of these scams myself. Today, I'm telling you how to avoid every single one. I'm Gary with Optimal Travel. Let's get started. When I came to Italy for the first time, I read the travel guides, I got all the brochures from the travel agency who booked my trip, and I thought I was well prepared. Unfortunately, nowhere does anybody mention some of the scams you need to look out for, because in Italy, there are so many tourists that scammers have gotten really good at figuring out ways to separate more money from your wallet. And one of these is done through professional organizations, and that is the ticket resellers. These are, on the face of it, legitimate companies that buy up big blocks of tickets for the premium sites in Italy for the popular dates when most tourists are going there. And then they'll resell these tickets to tourists in packages at double or triple the face value. And they're not giving you anything extra. A lot of times they'll call it skip the line tickets because you don't have to wait in line and buy your ticket. But you don't have to do that anyway if you buy these tickets directly from the Italian government website. If you do a Google search for any of these popular sites like the Vatican or the Colosseum, check and see what the first 3 or 4 lines that come up, the paid advertisers. They're all these third-party websites. They're not the legit official website for that organization. One good way to tell is to look at the web address. For the official sites, it will end in .it or .va for the Vatican, .it for everything else in Italy. And most of these third-party resellers will have websites ending in .com. Anything ending in .com is not the official site for tickets in Italy. Now, once you've located the official site to buy these tickets, do it well before your trip, because a lot of these popular sites do sell out, especially when there's competition from these resellers also buying tickets. Don't wait until the last minute, because you might end up not having a ticket or being forced to pay double or triple through one of these resellers.
We can be tempted to buy from resellers because the official websites usually run out of tickets very early on the season, but don't fall for this trap.
And when you're walking the streets of Italy, you have to be careful where you step, or you might walk right into this next scam. Not too long ago, I was walking through the streets of Florence and I saw a couple of tourists a bit in front of me, not paying much attention to where they were going. And there was a guy on the street with watercolor paintings laid all over the pavement, right where everybody's walking. And this couple didn't see it and accidentally stepped on one of them. Well, the guy pretended to be all upset and demanded a payment of 30 euros from this couple because he said that they ruined his painting. This is a psychological scam that is being run by people, oftentimes in Florence. I've seen it in Rome once or twice as well. Don't fall for it. If you see anything laying on the floor, steer clear of it. These guys are getting more and more aggressive. It used to be they would just be off to the side, but you see them now laying these watercolors as close as they possibly can right to the street, hoping that you will accidentally bump into one. And these watercolor paintings are not works of art. Probably cost them €1 or €2 to make. In fact, they're probably all reproductions that they just lay out there on the street and try to scam tourists with.
Europe is famous for its art, and people know it. So that's why they do this. Most museums and galleries have their own shops in which they sell art similar to what they have on exhibits. These shops are unique. There you can find art and also other objects or jewelry to bring back home. And those are genuine and very nice.
You can easily avoid this by just watching where you're walking, but if you do make a mistake and accidentally step on something like this, just keep walking. Ignore the person. They're not going to accost you. They know they're doing something wrong. And if you see any police officer nearby, just walk towards him or her. But some tourists are getting scammed before they even get off the plane. A couple of friends of mine took a trip to Italy a few months back, and they made their reservations for accommodations through one of those sites like booking.com or airbnb.com. And a month or two before they actually left for Italy, they got an email. It looked like it was from their booking site, telling them that they needed to update their credit card information or their reservation was going to be canceled. This is a scam that's being perpetrated over the internet these days, and a lot of tourists are falling victim to it. Never click on a link in an email that you're sent from anybody to update or provide credit card information. Always go back to the original site that you booked with. These emails tend to play on your emotion with urgency, telling you your reservation is going to be canceled or urgent update is needed. And the email might look like it's coming from your booking agency, but if you look closely, you'll see that the extension on that web address is not exactly the same. I've even received some of these emails myself. If you've ever gotten some kind of phishing email like this, let me know in the comments below. I know when I first came to Italy, one of the surprising things for me was that people in Italy generally don't use taxis that much, or even Uber. In America, it's extremely common. In some cities, there are taxis everywhere, and these days, there's Uber all over the place. In Italy, however, there aren't Uber drivers like there are in the US, and the taxis, they all congregate where the tourists go. It's common knowledge to locals that a lot of these taxi drivers will try to scam tourists. They might tell you that their meter is broken and you'll have no idea what they should be charging because legally they're supposed to be under a fixed rate system. The other thing that they might do is try to negotiate a special price with you in order to not turn on their meter. And typically, if they're doing that, they're charging you way more than what the meter is going to give them. I actually have two easy solutions to avoid this problem. One is to avoid taxis altogether. Pretty much everywhere, whether you're flying into Rome, Milan, you can get on a train and get into the city center and use public transportation to your hotel. Most people are staying somewhere near the cities that they're going to be seeing sites in, and the transportation in Italy is really pretty good. You can get public transport for a whole lot cheaper, and then you don't have to deal with the possibility of this scam. And the second thing you can do if you really want to take a taxi is you can use the Uber app. Now, I know I said there aren't Uber drivers in Italy, and there aren't, but the Uber app is connected with the taxi system. So if you use the Uber app to order a taxi, the price will be fixed. You're paying with your credit card through Uber. You know what the price is before you buy it, and then the taxi driver cannot change it. You're not paying that taxi driver directly. He's getting paid through Uber, and that's said and done. And if you are going to use the public transportation system, there's one scam I'm going to tell you how to avoid next. But first, if you would take a minute and hit that like button, subscribe to our channel. It helps us grow and we'll continue bringing you travel content. Unfortunately, in Italy, pickpockets are on the rise, and you can read stories and instances about this all over social media. In fact, a cousin of a good friend of mine actually had this happen to him in Florence recently when he was trying to buy a ticket at the train station, and he was a little confused about what to do. A friendly local offered to help him, but she wasn't alone, and she wasn't so friendly. So as she was helping him figure out how to get the tickets he needed, she was watching carefully what PIN number he was punching into the machine. And then as he put his wallet back in his pocket, she accidentally bumped into him while the friend took off with it. Now, this is one of the ways people do it. They usually work in teams, so you have to be really careful. If somebody's being overly friendly at a spot where you are doing a financial transaction, that's a huge red flag. Back away from it. Maybe it's innocent, but don't go through with anything. Make sure you've got your money secure and get away from that person at that time. Pickpockets can happen at any crowded area, so if you're standing in the crowds at the Trevi Fountain or in the Colosseum, in massive lines in the Vatican, watch out. But they're most common at transportation hubs or other spots where you're doing financial transactions because they're trying to get you when you have your money out. So there's two main ways that you can keep yourself safe from this scam. One is use an app for all the public transportation. There are apps for every major city in Italy. Sometimes it's the same app that does more than one city. But if you're in Rome, download the app for Rome's transportation system because you can buy all your tickets electronically right on that app and you never have to pull out a dime. This way, you're not struggling to buy tickets from a machine you've never seen before and putting yourself at risk by pulling money out and being vulnerable in that situation. The second thing is, whenever you're walking around in Italy, keep that money hidden. Whether you like to hide it in a belt under your clothes, or personally, I hide it in a hidden pocket in the inside of my backpack that I'm wearing. That's not something anybody has easy access to, and you're not going to be vulnerable. These pickpockets are looking for easy access. Somebody who's obviously got money in their pocket and they're an easy target, or tourists who are trying to figure out ticket machines and pulling out their credit cards. Those are the people who are the main targets.
As we all know, scammers are looking for vulnerable people or distracting situations. This could be children, or whenever you're talking to a friend, or when you're looking for your luggage, when you have to navigate to another train station or bus station. So that's when you have to be more careful.
You also should protect yourself by getting a travel insurance policy before you leave. In the unlikely event that you are robbed while you are on your trip, those travel insurance policies will reimburse you. I have a link to 2 companies that I have used in my description if you're interested, but get some type of coverage. And then if you ever have something horrible like this happen, always file a police report because that's something the insurance company will need in order to reimburse you. Now, this next scam really pisses my wife off. Every time I go to a major attraction like the Trevi Fountain, the Colosseum, or pretty much anywhere where tourists congregate and local vendors congregate, I'm on the lookout for a give out scam where they won't take it back. And this is often done in the form of a rose or a bracelet, or could be really anything. But I've been walking down the streets in Rome near one of these popular attractions and had somebody try to really aggressively hand me a flower for my wife. And he's like, here, for her, take it for her. And I knew that this was a scam. I just kept walking, but he wasn't giving up. He was after me for probably 15 seconds till he finally realized I wasn't having it. But what they want you to do is grab that flower. Once you touch it, they're walking back. Then they're calling after you. Hey, you owe me 10 euros for that. And they're making a scene about it. And most tourists just give in and hand over that money. Now, this is a petty scam. They'll ask for 5 euros or 10 euros. Sometimes they'll say, hey, just give me what you can afford. Try to make you feel like they're needy. But it's a big scam. It's going on in a lot of cities in Italy. Another form of this is they'll actually have the gall to grab your hand and slap a bracelet on it. My wife absolutely cannot stand that. I mean, nobody really should be touching you when you are walking down the street, right? You don't go up and touch strangers, but that's what some of these guys are doing. If that ever happens to you, you immediately take that off and hand it back. If he's walking away, toss it to him. It is going to make him bend down and pick it up, and that's just going to give you more of a distance. They're not really going to follow you because the police are aware of these guys and they're not supposed to be doing this. However, they will make a scene to an extent if you don't pay them money. They're trying to intimidate you. Don't be intimidated. Don't take the bait. Anytime you see these guys, just keep walking right past. Say no. If somebody ever tries to grab your arm or wrist, you can act loudly. Don't touch me. Turn around and yell at them. That's going to back them off. They don't want to be seen as the aggressor, although that's exactly what they are.
Italians are usually not a culture that likes to touch people around. So if you get this, that might be a red flag if somebody's following you or getting too close to you or your kids.
And this next scam is somewhat legitimized, yet it costs tourists hundreds, if not thousands of dollars during their Italy trip. One thing I really don't like is ATM fees. I mean, having to pay money to get my own money doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I really don't want to do that. And these fees add up fast. And in Italy, some ATMs will charge as much as €8 just to withdraw €100. That's crazy. But that's just the beginning. A lot of tourists don't realize that when you go out to withdraw cash from an ATM because you want some euros in cash, or even when you go to a store and pay for something with your American credit card, you're usually going to be given the option to pay in euros or to pay in dollars. A lot of tourists make this mistake. They think it is a friendly option and that they might as well pay in dollars because they're probably getting a better deal. But you're not. If you're pulling out cash in an ATM and you asked for €500 and it's asking you, would you like me to withdraw this from your account in dollars? Always say no, because they're offering to convert that at a rate that is oftentimes 10 to 15% more than what your bank will do it at. So always take those withdrawals in euros, let your bank do that conversion because their rate's going to be much more favorable to you. And this is the same for anywhere you go, a restaurant, a shop, even at a hotel where you swipe that credit card and they're going to turn it around to you and ask you to pick if you want it to be processed in euros or dollars. Always say euros. Always use the currency of the country that you're in, because when they're offering to convert it, they're charging a big commission for that and they're making money off of you. And if you add up that commission off of that purchase, every time you make a purchase, it adds up to hundreds of dollars over your stay in Italy.
Another good idea is to go to the bank directly to get your money exchanged, but sometimes they're not open, but at least their ATMs will be, and that's a good option.
So now that you won't be vulnerable to these scams and ripoffs on your next trip to Italy, a lot of tourists are coming to Italy unprepared because they don't know what to pack. I'll tell you how to avoid that right here.